Thanks for tuning in. This is the Sweet Cyclist. Today we're going to look at the Coros SafeSound Urban Helmet. So here we have the Coros SafeSound Urban Helmet. Big thanks to Coros for providing this helmet. We're very excited to review it. It's part of the kind of latest trend in smart helmets that provide audio, tail lights, as well as kind of SOS features for your own safety. If we remove this from the packaging and take a look at the specifications, you'll see that this is a $200 helmet. This is the urban style helmet. They also feature a road one and a mountain biking one. With the urban one, you get this more smooth design. You get 10 air vents and this kind of hat bill style kind of built in here to block out the sun. It has up to 10 hours of battery life with a built-in 500 milliamp battery. It has Bluetooth connectivity to communicate between the helmet and your smartphone, as well as a Coros App. And finally, it has a ear opening sound system. Now, this definitely sounds like a marketing term someone's invented. What this means is it has a directional speaker. You can see here, instead of having the headphones directly go in your ear, which is definitely not a safe thing to do, and instead of using the bone conductivity they've done in the past, it has this kind of channel built into the speaker that directs the sound directly in your ear canal. This results into a more kind of ambient style sound system to ensure you have spatial awareness when you're riding. It also has a built-in taillight on the back, which is another great feature. Let's go ahead and take it completely out of the packaging now. Here's the helmet, and you also get a little box with some features. Let's take a quick look at the helmet. You have a USB port on back, primary on-off button. We have a little tag on here, which indicates that it has a scent protection built in. Let's go ahead and open the little box here and see what goodies we have. We have our user manual. We have a provided cable. This is a micro USB port to USB-A style connector for charging the helmet. And you also have this remote, which is another great feature. So here's our remote. It's a multifunction remote that actually has a backlight built in. You can see when you turn it on. When you press the buttons, it has a light. You have volume control. You can go, you can fast forward, play soundtracks, reverse them, accept calls, turn the light on and off. This has a little battery built in here, a little watch battery that's replaceable. Here's the mount, basic kind of plastic piece with a little rubber gasket underneath to keep it stable. This is pretty flexible to mount, and it has these little posts on the side that you use to mount it to either your stem or anywhere you'd like with these little rubber straps. Now let's take a look at the weight of the helmet. Obviously, with the integrated battery and electronics, this is going to be a little bit heavier than your traditional helmet. If we look at the weight of the remote with its mount, the little rubber pad underneath, and the two rubber straps, that comes out to 30 grams. If we add the helmet on top of that, we have 438 grams. Now let's take a closer look at the Coros Smart Sound Urban Helmet. As I mentioned, this is the white color medium size. They also have a black color version of this, as well as a road bike and mountain bike versions that have similar features, but a different design. This has 10 different vents for cooling, and it has a kind of cool urban style that many helmets have now. This is kind of more of a skater style, smooth shell, and it comes fairly low on the rear for extra protection. Let's start from the back side of the helmet. You can see this is the integrated taillight. You have a single power button. If I hold it for 2 seconds, you can hear this is powering off. And if I hold it again for another 2 seconds, it'll power on with the LED light kind of confirming the actions. And that's a really nice feature. They actually use the LEDs the LEDs in the tail light actually light up in segments to indicate the charge status as well, which is a really nice feature. So you know when you're charging how much you have to go. You have that single button, and underneath it you have a covered USB port. There's a micro USB port for charging. And you also have the simple kind of boa style adjustment here. So it's bi-directional, clockwise to tighten, counterclockwise to loosen, which makes adjusting the helmet for any size head very simple. We come around to the side, you can see we have the Coros logo on here. This is just a simple sticker on top. You have two colors here. You have this kind of black plastic and then the white shell on top, which looks pretty good. Here we have the speakers that are built in to these nylon straps with a simple adjustment here. According to the instructions, you're supposed to adjust this strap to be directly underneath your ear. If you're wondering how the wiring works for the speakers, these are actually wired into the helmet, and I can sort of show you that by giving you a close-up of the strap. So you see that little protrusion here, that's the wiring for the speakers that goes into the helmet itself. Now, one downside of all these electronics is that they're all integrated in here. These are non-removable. So if you do have an accident, you will have to replace this $200 helmet. You can replace the speakers independently or the taillight independently. If we go to the front, you can see it's a very nice smooth shell. You have this kind of gray secondary color with this nice kind of pattern on it too, so it's a nice little touch. This also has a really great spot for mounting a headlight on too. It's very easy to drop a headlight between these two vents, and with the kind of smooth design, it's very easy to mount any light on here. Unlike kind of road cycling helmets that have really aggressive style vents, this is really lends itself really well to mounting. You also get this kind of built-in cap. It is removable with Velcro. A really nice touch. It blocks the sun when you're riding. On the inside, we have these really nice plush kind of padding in here. These are all removable and can be cleaned. I highly recommend doing that every few months as they get pretty nasty. And this is a very comfortable helmet. Everyone I've had test this has come back saying this is kind of the most comfortable helmet they've ever used. It's a combination of, I think, the shape and the really soft padding on here. So really easy to use, really comfortable. So now let's take a look at the Coros app. It offers a couple options. You can turn the taillights on and off, and every time you turn them on or off, they'll try to sync with the helmet. Sometimes that syncing fails, as you see here, but most of the time it works, and when it works, you see the update. You can also enable a voice feedback feature, and that'll remind you about your distance if you have a cycling activity active, and you can do it either based on distance or time. There also is a speeding warning, and this is a little bit optimistic. It goes all the way up to 60 miles an hour, which seems excessive. You can sync the remote. However, once you sync the remote, all you see is the ID. So I'm not really sure why this feature is here. You can't customize any of the hold options. What you see is what you get. You can change the language. And you can do a firmware update, and you should definitely do this if you purchase it, because they have done a number of bug updates. You can also view the user manual directly from the app, but as you can see, this is a dead link. I'm going to assume this will be fixed in future releases of the app. One of the bigger things you can do with the app is set the emergency contacts. This is the SOS feature. And if it detects a collision, it will go through this list of contacts, which you can either enter manually or from your contacts to text in case of an emergency. The other interesting thing is you can start a cycling activity. And as you can see, this provides you a really simple interface to see your speed, distance, and average speed. Coros actually does a lot of smart watches. So that's one reason I'm more optimistic that they'll maintain these apps and keep adding features. If we go through the other tabs of the application, you can see you have fitness stats. You can list your previous workouts. And you also have a kind of a cool profile page where you get badges and you can track your total progress, whether it's swimming, running, or biking. So pretty nice features overall. So now let's take a look at the taillight that's integrated in the helmet. As you can see, it's not that bright, especially compared to a normal taillight. but it does do a good job of drawing attention to you because the light is higher up versus a tail light, which is on your seat post.
In order to test the audio quality of the Coros smart helmet, we're recording the audio from the receiving end of the call while calling from the helmet phone. As you can hear and see, the ambient noise, cars and wind noise. However, overall the audio quality is better than we expect. Now, if we pull over and come to a complete stop, you can hear the audio quality is much better without all the noise.
Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Coros SafeSound helmet. One pro is it's very easy to set up right out of the box. You can sync it with your cell phone and the remote and everything just simply works. The remote also provides a lot of easy access to the features. I've mounted that on my stem and I really like it. You can just adjust the volume, you can accept or decline calls. You can even fast forward tracks. So if you have Pandora set, you can jump forward. And the last pro is the runtime is pretty impressive for the battery size. I find that I don't really have to charge this except for maybe once a week. Some of the cons for these kind of helmets is the integrated electronics. This is not specific to the Coros, but with most of these, the electronics are now removable. So if you did have an accident or one headphone were to break, there are not a lot of replacement parts available. So once you're out of warranty, you won't be able to maintain this. So it's not very future-proof. The other thing I found is the headphones tend to rotate away from my ear. I saw this in other reviews as well. They're designed to kind of sit flush, but depending on your head size, I guess they can rotate. And lastly, the Coros app has really limited customization options. There's not much you can do aside from setting the emergency contacts or doing activity tracking. So now let's give the SafeSound Urban a final rating. Out of 10, I would give it an 8.5. I think it's a really cool helmet for modern riders. It replaces a bunch of other gadgets like wireless headphones, a taillight, into one really nice, comfortable helmet. I was a little hesitant about the helmet when I first got it because of the integrated electronics and the higher cost. But having ridden with it now for a while, I really like it. It's great for kind of riding around the city and doing commuting. You can listen to your music, you can take calls, all while maintaining spatial awareness. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel. Follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist and visit our website at thesweetcyclist.com for more content. This is Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.